All right. Harold, so
Fantastic.
great to see you. How are you? How are things going in your world, my friend?
I'm things are great for me. Things are really good. I'm just sitting here waiting for is it Hurricane Fiona or Storm Fiona? I don't know, but
Oh,
just sitting here waiting for that to happen. That's it.
okay, well, as long as you're safe and you're good and you have everything going all right, then I'm glad for you. Listen, first of all, I gotta go. I gotta say, I have been watching you, like, my goodness, from day one. And I look at all of the amazing things you've done in your career, like starting off on the series Fame. Like, a lot of people don't know about you that you're
Yeah.
like an accomplished dancer. When are we going to see you like huffing again in front of the camera? Come on, fess
I,
up.
I hope one day I do get to do that. The bones are getting a little old here, but like, so I'm hoping it happens soon. But
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 yeah,
we'll
but
see.
I'm sure you could still handle it. But Harold, like, but when you look at all of this amazing material and shows that you've worked on over the years,
Yeah.
all so well written, including From. I mean, obviously, is that the first thing that you look at when you get a script and you go, "Man, this is written so well. How can I refuse?"
I do that now. I didn't do that in the beginning part of my career because the beginning, whatever comes, you're trying it. So there are a lot of real missteps in the early part of my career. But now, when things come my way, I really do look at how they're written. If I feel like I really want to be part of that, be part of that team. If I feel like I have anything to contribute to it, and that was definitely one of the things I thought when I read From. I was like, yeah, the writing was good. Griffin is such a great writer, and I was just like, yeah, I just would love to be part of this, and luckily they let me do
Well, oh, please let you do it. Give me a break here. But when you look back at the success of something like Lost and how
it.
everybody, no pun intended, got so lost in that show, myself included. It was a show that I
Yeah.
watched every week with my two boys. Like, that doesn't happen very often with a mom and her sons. So we were
Oh,
committed.
right.
Yeah, we were committed. And then you did other things, and now you're back in this kind of sci-fi mystery type of, scary genre. What
Yeah.
is it about this that compels us to want to keep watching and for you to take on that role? And you're anchoring this show too. Lots of great.
Yeah, well, so that was a really interesting part for me because I haven't anchored in this show, in a long time. So that was actually an interesting challenge to take on for me. So I wanted to do that. But the other part of it is, I think I do this, and I think the audience members do it as well. Even though we're called horror, it's really suspense about
Yes.
human beings and their relationships and how they respond to tragedy or tragic circumstances, and From really does that. And we were right in the middle of that with the pandemic, and so all of it made sense. We're all sort of sequestered in because there's a monster outside that's trying
Right.
to get us, and then people handle it in really different ways, and so it really made sense to me. And that was the thing that was really intriguing, and I think that audience will be intrigued by as well. How do people respond?
Well, exactly. Yes, it is a lot about humanity. I mean, there are some scary moments. There's no question about it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's how we all react, how we and exactly like when we were in the pandemic, everybody was kind of locked in. So here you are in this space with these great characters, other stars that you work with.
Right.
What was that bonding process like to know that you all were going to be in this kind of area? You weren't allowed to go out. You had this monster thing, happening that was scaring the crap out of all of you. But how did you guys all connect? And was chemistry instant between this cast?
I feel like it really was instant because, like I'm saying, we were literally doing that. Like, we all still had masks on, and you
Right.
know what I mean, and had to communicate in this way, and had to be apart for a while so that we didn't, get anyone sick, and then come together, so make really, really fast connections, and then be apart again. And so I think, the outside world really informed what was happening for us
Right.
in the inside world. And then, we saw the monsters and we knew what we were scared of. And so that was also bonding and a lot of fun. But, it's such a great cast and so many like amazing Canadian actors. And I
Yes.
don't know why I say Canadian actors. I say that because they live here in Canada, but they're
Right.
just
Right.
a group of amazing actors that and yeah, we all just get along. We have really one of the nicest cast of people and crews that are really hardworking. And so yeah, I think we all just got along well. There's not like a weak link. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit, that we're finally getting this here in Canada on Paramount Plus, which is amazing because obviously a lot of people have seen this on the in the States.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about this guy Boyd that you play, Boyd Stevens, because I don't want to give away too much from what I've seen, but he has a past. He has some things that are like, there's some conflict there with his son.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with this guy. Was it a challenging one for you just to kind of get into his mindset and where he was going and what he was going to have to do in the series?
Right. Right. So for your audience members, Boyd Stevens, the character I play, is the sheriff of this little town.
Yeah.
And, his task is to make sure everybody is safe and eventually to get everybody out of this town that nobody gets out of. So,
oh, well.
So we're already on the back step.
Yeah.
But Boyd Stevens, he really does have, he has a background in service, which you'll find out, as you go through the series. He has a background in service and helping people and stuff like that. And he's carrying around a huge sadness. And you see it in the very beginning between him and his son. But it'll be explored into the series. And it's a giant sadness. And so, he'll try to be as helpful as he can, as protective as he can, while he's still carrying all of this weight. And, for me, doing that was really, the only tricky thing about it is that, in order for audiences to feel a sadness, you kind of have to have a sadness.
Yes.
And so when we were here in Halifax last year, while we were meeting people and doing all this stuff, it was incredibly lonely and sad, but we got it done. It was fulfilling. It wasn't like I was just lonely and sad. It was really in service of playing this character, and so that made it really, really tricky to people say, "Hey, are you having fun?" It's like, I mean, can we define that?
Yeah, but I'm working, people. Come on, seriously, right? Yeah,
right.
But when you play a person like this, obviously there's so much. There's a great, in one of the episodes, there's a great scene. We even see it in the trailer where he's just so frustrated. He screams into the mirror. Like, don't we all feel like we want to do that and let it all out? And then you walk out of the bathroom, you're like, "Hi, honey, I'm fine."
Exactly. Look, I have 3 girls. I'm really familiar with that scream in the bathroom. Mine is more of a silent scream, though, because they can hear everything I do. So
right.
More just an open mouth. But yeah, we all do want to do that when you're faced with really tough circumstances. I mean, you have to put on the face, you have to do the work, but sometimes you need a moment. And Boyd, takes that moment in the mirror and at itself, and I imagine he does it a lot.
I would think so. Yeah, I can relate to Boyd on many levels on that respect. There's no question about it.
You have 2 boys.
Absolutely. Like I said, Harold, earlier, you've had so many great opportunities and worked with so many great directors, like from Baz Luhrmann to like, oh my goodness, and then you get this series called Lost, and people still to this day, like I said, I'm still talking to you about it because it was so impactful. I have to ask you though, were you satisfied with the ending?
By the time the ending came around, I was so out of the I did the first 2 seasons and then I did the 4th season.
Right.
By the 6th season, I was already moving on that I wasn't really paying attention to it. And so I know there are a lot of people frustrated by it. For me, it really was just about the journey. I was when I saw it, I was like, that it made sense to me, but I also understood why people were frustrated. Do you know what I mean? There's been so many theories from day one. So 6 years later, and they're like, they're in purgatory? That's what we said.
That's what we spent 6 years watching. Like, come on, really, Damon? And honestly,
So yeah,
but also,
I understand, but it really was about
you work in Canada, you shoot, you're in Halifax and it's doing this, but you also worked on The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
That's
another
right.
Great Canadian, and
One of
so
my
much
favorite
fun. You
people
must have
in
had
the
a
whole
blast
world.
working on that too.
I love Nathan Fillion like you cannot believe. I mean, we still text and talk every now and again, but I I mean, I love that guy like you can't even believe. And so I had such a good time on his show. And on his show, it was only me, him, and the writers who knew that my character would take a turn.
Yeah.
So when the character takes a turn, I mean, everybody was mad at me. The crew members were mad at me. Like everybody was so mad. I was like, wait, guys, it was always gonna be this way. Like I didn't write it. So, sorry, I wasn't trying to.
I kind of thought so because I thought something's up with this guy, but yeah, you did a great job of that. Okay, and then just to wrap it up, I understand we're good. We're all of the Best Man fans are going to get the reunion that we're all waiting for. How cool was that? All of them. I just talked to Sana the other day for her directorial debut on the come up. Phenomenal.
Right.
So all of you guys to be back together. Come on, seriously?
I mean, that was so much fun. And I did that right before we came here. And it's such a different, it's so joyous and fun and being with those people. And then we were like, monsters. So my head is just spinning. But yeah, people are going to get to see this reunion, and it's really, really well done. I was doing some voice looping work on it just yesterday, and it's so fun and so funny, and yeah, people are going to love it. And so I'm really glad that we got to do it. Everybody got to come back, and it's really,
can't
really
wait. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on this series. Obviously now, working on season 2. So yeah, people are not going to get out of this little town. So too bad for you people, but good for us. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, buddy.
Such a big fan, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Take care.